So I have both cameras on. This is the Insta360 Ace Pro. This is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. First thing you're going to notice is that the Ace Pro has a wider field of view and there is a lot more focus in the background, something that is important to a lot of people that vlog. Now, if you do want a wider field of view on the Pocket 3, you're going to have to buy the wide angle lens, which you can put on there. It is magnetic, but it does mean you do introduce a lot of distortion to the edges of your frame. Neither of these have low light reduction at the moment, so this is what they look like in the normal profiles when you're walking around an interior. For me, the Insta360 Ace Pro is the king of vlog cameras because it gets you from camera to social media the fastest. It's using an AI chip to do all the processing, including noise reduction in the camera. So what you see is what you get. With the Pocket 3, it's a bit more of an advanced camera. It has D-Log, it has 10-bit, it has timecode, things that you're not going to need to worry about when you're vlogging. So I say we go outside and I'm going to give you a whole load of reasons why the Ace Pro really wins for vlogging. So we're outside now, and point 1 out of 10 is sensor size. The Osmo Pocket 3 has a 1-inch sensor, which is hefty. It's a big sensor. And the Ace Pro has a 1 over a 1.3-inch sensor. It's smaller, so things like detail, sharpness, resolution, you're thinking, okay, a bigger sensor, it's better. But when people are vlogging, they like everything to be in focus. The Pocket 3, I don't know if you can see, has got some very nice out of focus blur, some bokeh going on in the background, whereas the Ace Pro is sharp all around. And if you're filming, for example, you're talking about the building behind me, which you can see in the Ace Pro, but you can't see in the Pocket 3, well, it's sharp, right? On the Pocket 3, it isn't. So that's something you got to be aware of. The larger the sensor, the more, depth of field it's gonna affect, and that's what's happening here. So talking about this building right there, it's gonna be sharp on the Ace Pro, but on the Pocket 3 it's not, and that is something that you should consider, and that is point 1. Right, point number 2 are moving parts. By the way, iPhone MagSafe magnetic works really great. You're vlogging, yeah? You are vlogging with the Ace Pro or the Pocket 3, and you're out in the city and you want to be fast. So what do? Well, this has got one moving part opposed to 3. So the one moving part is the screen, as you can see here. You kind of flip it up and down. If you lock it in, it's like a Action 4 or a GoPro Hero 12. So we click it in, remove it, and it's in the pocket. Look at that. It's gone. It is gone. Let's try the Pocket 3. So now we have the Pocket 3 on a selfie stick. Close it down. It is going to close. Wait for it. It's going to lock down. So the gimbal's nice and safe. I'm gonna have to undo it from this extension. Be careful, be careful. And now we have that. I'm not sticking that in my pocket. There is no chance we're gonna put this thing in my pocket like it is. We're gonna get out the cover, and we're gonna safely put it in the cover. And then in my pocket. And then I can put this thing in my pocket, and that's it. So if we're holding in my hand, Pocket 3, close it down. Gotta wait for the gimbal to close, so it's nice and safe. Take out the protective cover, put it upside down, and lock it in. Lo and behold, you have the wide filter on, and you've got to take that off and put it in for it to fit. The Ace Pro, you're vlogging, right? The third reason is waterproof. The DJI Pocket 3 I left in the studio because it is raining, and I wouldn't feel comfortable using it in the rain. I would worry that the gimbal, the rotatable screen, or the joystick would allow water in, rendering it useless and dead. It's not something I would use, walking around, vlogging, when it's raining. I wouldn't feel comfortable with it. No, definitely not. Whereas the Ace Pro, you can use it 10 meters underwater. So if you're in the Bahamas and you want to go diving, go for it. If you're in the Seychelles and it starts raining, because it usually does there, you're fine. If you're in London, if you're in Łódź, Poland, where I am now, and it's raining and you want to vlog, don't worry about it. It's absolutely fine. It can get wet and you don't have to worry about it. Look at that, even a little speckle on the screen. So yeah, it's a very important point number 3, because a lot of Eastern Europe and a lot of cities around the world get rain. And if you're there for 2-3 days vlogging, you're not going to wait until it stops. You just take out your Insta360 Ace Pro and vlog away. This is point number 4, and it is dark. I'm here with Mia, my daughter, and I'm going to run for you guys, and we're going to see the difference between the AI stabilization on the Ace Pro and the gimbal stabilization on the Pocket 3. They're both on low light stabilization, all that stuff. They have their low light settings on. So let's run. How does it look? How does it look? Right, we're gonna go the other way, Mia. The other way. Okay, and I'm gonna film you running. Okay? And go. Okay, we're tired out. Now, the great thing about the Ace Pro is that you put it in a certain direction and it stays there. You could see driftage with the gimbal here, and that's a kind of a difference. It kind of drifts when you move it, as you see, but it's they're both cool, you know. What do you guys think? Mechanical or AI? Yeah, say bye.
Bye.
Right, point number 6, D-Log M. So a flat log profile on the Pocket 3, and it's got 10-bit. But as a vlogger, do you want to play around with all that? I don't think so. Whereas the Ace Pro has got 8-bit, it's got AI features that work in camera. You don't have to do post-processing, and it gets you from camera to social media the fastest, looking the best, with no playing around with any log footage or anything. I think that's a big deal if you're a vlogger and you want things to look good, fast, right out of camera. D-Log M against the 8-bit normal profile that you see right here. It's a big deal, you know, and it really doesn't make a difference if you're vlogging. Look at the warp on that wide lens. Whew. Let's take it off for a second. It's a big difference, right? Right, so number 7 is tracking. So obviously the Ace Pro has no tracking, but the DJI has. So I can walk over here and I will be tracked. So, you know, that's a great thing. And if you just want to put your camera down and have it track you, the Pocket 3 is going to do that. Whereas the Ace is not. No matter where I go, the Pocket 3 will track me, but it has drifting, which can be sometimes annoying. So you got to think about that. If that's something you need, then the Pocket 3 will do it. So point number 8 is wireless audio, which is very important when you're vlogging and you want to move away from the camera. And both of them actually have it, and both of them work with the DJI Mic 2 transmitter, which is really great. And to show you an example, the simplest way is me, for example, closing the doors so you wouldn't normally get audio. And I can now be behind doors and the audio was just as good next to the camera as it is right here in what I call my Zen room. That's my gear, studio, talking head room. This is my Zen room. And let's try it on the Ace Pro. So this is exactly the same setup with the Ace Pro. And as you can see, it works with the DJI Mic 2, and I can close myself in here and you can hear me just as well as he did over there. The options for the microphone are a lot less than in the Pocket 3, but you have gain on the actual camera and you do have a backup track on the Mic 2 if you need it. So they both work with wireless audio, which is fantastic. Point 9 is the form factor of these two cameras. They're very different. The Pocket 3 has a lot of open ports, SD card, USB-C. It's got a very delicate gimbal. It's a completely
different type of camera. The Ace Pro, on the other hand, is much more like an action camera. It does have a flip screen, but it's a lot more durable. You don't have to worry about throwing in your pocket. It's completely sealed, so you can use it underwater. It's generally a camera you don't have to worry about tossing in your pocket when you're out vlogging.
Right, so point number 10 is the lens. As you can see on the Ace Pro, it's very wide. On the Pocket 3, it's not that wide. It's a little bit too tight for vlogging. We do have a fix for that, which is that, but even then, it doesn't get as wide as the Ace Pro. Now, if we take that back off, you're gonna see that there is a fair bit of difference, but there is a lot of warping that's going on the edges of the Pocket 3. The Ace Pro is in de-warp, but we can change that. Give me 1 second. Right, the Ace Pro now is in action, and there is a lot of distortion on the edges. Let's try Ultra. Now the Ace Pro is in Ultra. I like de-warp the most because it is the cleanest lens out of all of them, but you also have 2 times, which means we zoom in to the 8K sensor losslessly, and that's pretty cool if we want to see the top of that building behind me, for example. So now I have zoomed in losslessly 2 times on the Ace Pro, and the field of view, if I take off the wide lens on the Pocket 3, is that, and that is what they look like next to each other. Right, when it comes to AI features in the app, both of them have a fantastic app. It really is. It's much better than the GoPro app. It's easy to use, it gives you a load of features, and the Pocket 3, believe it or not, with the AI features, does something like this. It makes you look, I'm guessing, I have no good words for what it makes me look like. But this is what it does. This is the AI feature on the Pocket 3. So maybe you might find that useful. I don't. The app on the Ace Pro, on the other hand, is just as good as the DJI app, if not better, because it has a whole load of AI features. And I really do enjoy using this app. It's pretty crystal clear, and it's got no lag like the DJI app, but it does have AI features that you might find a little bit more interesting, and you could use a little bit more for vlogging, unless you already need the face kind of AI stuff that the Pocket 3 has. But yeah, they both have great apps, and they both have fun AI features. Right, the 12th point and the very last point, I know I did add 2 points for you guys. Well, that's batteries, and they're probably the most important part of the actual camera itself. The Pocket 3 has a built-in battery, and it has an extra battery that you can pop in at the bottom, which charges the internal battery. Now, if the internal battery goes, you're probably screwed. But the Ace Pro has removable batteries, and you can buy 10 of them and just exchange them when you want. And if one of those dies, well, you can recycle it and buy a new one. And in 10 years' time, the camera will work just like it always did. So that's a big difference when it comes to the batteries. They both PD charge ridiculously fast. They last about the same time. GoPro charges in about 4 to 5 days. So, you know, these batteries are good. And the fact they have PD charging is fantastic. Anyway, back to the studio. Right, so to sum things up, the Insta360 Ace Pro, the DJI Pocket 3, right there. If you're looking for the best vlog camera out there, I would go with the Ace Pro. If you're looking for a very clean cinema camera that you have to be careful with, Pocket 3. Something came to me last night, because I've been filming this over 3 days. I've been waiting for it to stop raining so I can take the Pocket 3 out. Which camera would I give my kids? I think that's the perfect test of durability. I definitely wouldn't give them the Pocket 3 because I'd be worried they'll break the screen or they'll, you know, break the gimbal. I would happily give them the Ace Pro, maybe with the screen closed, but I would give it to them and I'd let them play with it. I let them play with my Action 4 and my Hero 12 without any problems at all. But the Pocket 3, I would worry about. I think it potentially has a high failure ratio when it comes to the mechanics because it has a gimbal which is very delicate. It has a rotatable screen and that little joystick, you know, it's also got ports that water can get in. I would worry about it. So if you're looking for a camera that's more durable, that you can stick in your pocket, as you've seen in my video, then I would go with the Ace Pro. Now, the Ace Pro does not have professional features that professional sportsmen would need, like the Action 4 does and the Hero 12, and even the Pocket 3, like log, like 10-bit, like time code. Those are things that you don't really need to worry about when you're vlogging. When you're vlogging, you want to get from camera to social media as fast as possible. Now, the Ace Pro does that, and it does it all in camera. It processes everything in camera, which is fantastic. Even the low light, it gets rid of all that noise in camera, so you can get that footage right off the camera, straight into social media, without even having to worry. Whereas the Pocket 3, you need a little bit more knowledge, you need a little bit more know-how, how to edit it, how to get it looking the best, and how to use it so it looks really, really fantastic. And, you know, it's a little bit tight, because if we take off this wide lens, I mean, it is tight compared to the Ace Pro. It's nowhere near as comfortable to hold. And it's a completely different camera for a completely different use. So cinema camera, little tiny cinema camera, pocket free. Your vlogging camera, which appeals to a much wider audience, the Ace Pro. If you have any questions, do drop them down below. I'll be happy to discuss this with you. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe, give me a like, and, you know, ring that bell. Much appreciated. Gonna catch you on the next one.